You're Ned Stokely's son?
Yeah.
All the way from St. Louis, huh?
That's right.
No. Down on the end. No.
What's wrong with him?
Nothing I could cure. A couple months back, he got word about his wife. Your ma, dying. He just quit wanting to live. Happens in a place like this.
It's me, Rich. Right here, Pa.
Richie? I knowed you'd come. Grown man now, ain't you?
That's right, Pa.
Billy. Where's Billy?
Up to Denver. I sent for him. Just as soon as I found out he was ailing. You just hold on.
No time. 20 years they've had me in here. Away from you, Billy. Your mother. She'd be alive today if I hadn't been put in here.
Don't, Pa. Don't.
You listen to me. Them two. The two that said I did the killing. It was their word against mine.
I know, Pa.
They's the killers.
Don't. Easy.
Stockton. Over in Stockton. The banker man. And the other one. The woman. Victoria. Barkley. You promise me you'll make them pay for what they done. Promise me.
I promise. I promise. Huh?
morning, Silas.
Jared, you're late.
And starved.
We'll have dinner whenever it's ready.
Yes, Mrs. Buck.
Well, how are things in town?
Oh, very dull and uninteresting. Maybe we should all move to San Francisco.
Oh?
From your daughter.
You have time for a sherry if you'd like.
Oh, good.
Staying until the end of the month, too many things to do. Love, Audra. Well, now, isn't that newsy and full of information? But San Francisco is a difficult place to leave.
Who's winning?
Lady Luck, which happens to be on Nick's side today.
Oh? Well, I may just make plans to change that right after dinner.
And I may just give you the chance.
Well, Jared, it seems you have plans to change a lot of things.
What's that?
Otis Clark of the Stockton Bank chairs committee to nominate Jared Barkley for Attorney General.
Now, where did they get that terrible picture?
I gave it to him. After all, as your campaign manager.
Co-campaign manager.
The co-campaign manager.
So things in town are dull and uninteresting, hmm?
Well, now, there's nothing really to get excited about yet. Are you pleased?
Of course I am. But why didn't you tell me?
Well, he didn't know about it until today. That is, that it was definite.
Now, wait a minute. I haven't accepted anything yet.
But you will, of course.
Dinner is served, Mrs. Barkley.
Thank you.
I refuse to make any major decisions on an empty stomach. Shall we?
Oh, listen to that. Typical politician. No definite answers. Keep him in suspense. Hold up the interest. Well, you just better accept, my boy.
Evening, Fred.
Evening, Otis. Closing up?
Hold a minute. I got some things to put away first. You going to that committee meeting tonight?
Yeah, after I finish making my rounds and having my supper.
Well, why don't you come over to the hotel? We'll have supper and go together. In about 10 minutes.
Fine. 10 minutes it is.
Open it up and don't make a sound. What do you move?
Well, now, Mr. Otis Clark.
You know me?
Oh, indeed I do. Nice bank you got here. Mm-hmm. Must have kept you nice and comfortable for a long time.
Who are you? What do you want?
Take a good look. Maybe I'll remind you of somebody.
I never saw you before. I don't know what you're talking about.
You wouldn't care, even if you did.
Look, if it's money you want.
Well, now, if you've got some you don't want, I might as well take it. Before.
Before what?
Where's the money? Figured it out yet? But who I remind you of?
I told you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Get up! Think. What about state prison?
State?
My name's Stokely. Rich Stokely.
Stokely. State prison. Stokely.
Yeah. Now you remember. That's good. Because you're gonna die thinking about it.
Otis.
Stokely. Miss Stokely.
Fred?
Yeah?
Find out anything?
Yeah, it was new money. Brand new. The serial numbers checked with the list the Treasury Department sent me.
It's a lucky break.
Yeah, I'm going to telegraph this list to every law enforcement office in the state.
Let's hope he starts spending it soon.
Yeah, I guess Otis's wife does, too. By the way, she's inside waiting. She said she'd been looking for you.
How's she taking it?
Oh, about as well as can be expected. Consider.
Sarah?
Jared. I was by your office earlier.
Well, I'm sorry, Sarah. I spent most of the morning at the courthouse.
And you go there again, won't you? I mean when that man who killed Otis is caught and brought to trial.
Sarah, you realize that I'm not the prosecuting attorney.
Otis always had such respect for you, Jared. He watched your career so closely, and he was so proud of you. I've heard him say, you wait, Sarah. You wait until Jared's the Attorney General. He'll do right. He'll be good for everybody. You will do right for Otis, won't you, Jared?
Sarah, whether or not I'm the Attorney General doesn't really matter. The only thing that does matter is that justice be done. I'll see to that, don't you worry.
I believe you, Jared. I leave it in your hands.
Listen, I'm going to meet Nick in a few minutes. Why don't you come with me and come on out to the ranch and visit for a few days?
No, thank you. I'm all right now.
Yes?
Afternoon.
How do you do?
Mr. Barkley here.
Which one of the Barclays?
The lawyer. Jared.
No, he isn't, but he's expected. Mr. Heath is here.
How about Mrs. Barkley?
She's out visiting.
Well, I'll just wait.
Where's everybody?
In here.
Jared, Nick, meet Rich Stokely.
Howdy. It's a pleasure. A real pleasure.
You're Rich Stokely?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
How'd he get in here?
Knocked on the door.
Just like that, eh?
Just like that.
You realize you're wanted for murder.
Yes, sir. I sure do. That's why I came here. I want to see you. I figure I'm going to need a lawyer. A good one. And I hear you're the best.
Listen to him, Jared. He's got quite a story to tell.
All right, start talking.
Well, it's about all them wanted posters saying that I killed that Stockton banker man.
Didn't you?
Mister, I couldn't have. I wasn't anywhere near Stockton when it happened.
Stokely people saw you, the sheriff for one. And the dead man identified you by name before he died.
That's what I can't figure out. It had to be somebody else. I was over to Jackson, working there. You ask them. They'll tell you.
Who'll tell us?
Fella I was working for over there. Rancher by the name of Bickers, Jason Bickers. And some of the other ranch hands I was working with.
You're sure about that?
Ain't no reason not to be. Look, I figure maybe it was somebody who had it in for me. No? Used my name. Well, I don't know. But, you know, when I saw all them wanted posters, $5,000, dead or alive, well, I hightailed it over here as fast as I could to see you because I was afraid someone would put a bullet in me.
How do we know he's telling the truth?
But I am. You gotta believe me.
We don't gotta believe anything. If you're innocent, that has to be proved.
You can do that. Uh-huh. Just on what I told you.
That remains to be seen. In the meantime, I think I'd like to have the Stockton sheriff take a good look at you.
Sheriff? Boy, he'll throw me in jail, won't he?
Probably.
Well, is that what you want me to do?
Right at the moment, Stokely, I don't see that you have any choice.
The man I got locked up in that cell is the same man who came running out of the bank. I don't care if he's got 100 witnesses.
Fred, you're absolutely sure.
Good Lord, man, he took a shot at me. Of course I'm sure. I'd swear to it.
Well, when we get to court, I'm afraid you'll have to.
Not the least bit surprised Fred doesn't understand you. Who does?
Nick, the man couldn't have been in two places at the same time.
I don't deny that. The jury will decide. But why do you have to defend him? There are other lawyers, you know.
Because I believe there's a reasonable doubt.
Oh, well, you're going to go a long, long way to prove that. I'll tell you one thing there's no doubt about. You're playing with political dynamite.
Doesn't have anything to do with politics.
You are running for Attorney General.
I'm not running yet. As a matter of fact, I haven't even been nominated.
You go on defending Stokely, and chances are you won't be. Jared, Otis Clark was a well-known, well-liked man in this town.
I know that.
And public sentiment is not exactly on the side of Stokely.
Nick, a murder trial doesn't have anything to do with sentiment. Only facts do.
I think there are a few facts you've overlooked.
Such as?
Reality. A man wanting a high political position does not expose himself to the possibility of being ridiculed by the public. The voting public.
Nick, are you really suggesting that I should overlook the fact that a man's life is at stake for some kind of political imagery?
No, wait a minute, Jared. All I'm trying to do is to point out the plain, simple facts. A man in your position should drop this case.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I'm the first lawyer he came to. Nick, if he'd gone to a lawyer who was running for the presidency of the United States, that man would have the same responsibility.
And if that man didn't take the case, I wouldn't vote for him.
All right, we can proceed. Now, Sheriff, on the night Otis Clark was murdered and the Stockton Bank robbed,
You were in the hotel at that time, is that correct?
That's correct.
Tell the court what happened.
Well, I was waiting for Otis, Mr. Clark. We were going to have dinner together before the meeting. I heard what sounded like a shot from way off. I ran outside and saw this fellow running from the bank. I yelled at him to stop. He took a shot at me. He creased me right here. But when I got my senses back, he was gone. So I ran over to the bank, found Mr. Clark on the floor. He'd been shot. He died a few seconds later.
Did he say anything to you before he died?
He did. He said Stokely. Rich Stokely.
Now, Sheriff, the man you saw run out of the bank, the man who also took a shot at you, is he in this courtroom?
He is.
Will you point him out to us and give us his name, please?
That's him. Rich Stokely.
Now, Sheriff, have you ever seen the defendant, Rich Stokely, before?
No.
And yet you feel that you got a good enough look at him the night you say he ran out of the Stockton Bank to put out this wanted poster on him and to identify him here in this court. Is that correct?
Yes. I told you that before, Jared.
Sheriff, isn't there any possibility that you could be wrong?
No.
I see. Sheriff, how would you describe a man of medium height?
5'9" to 5'10".
Mm-hmm. What about 5'11"?
Well, there's little difference.
Granted. What about 6 feet?
Well, that I'd have to call tall.
You would?
What are you driving at, Jared?
Would you please stand up, Mr. Stokely? Now, Sheriff, in your testimony, you described the man you saw that night as being of medium height. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
How tall are you, Mr. Stokely?
A little over 6'1".
Now, Sheriff, I have here in my hand a copy of the voter registration list from the last general election in the city of San Francisco. City of considerable size, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Well, let's look here under S. Or to be more exact, under STO. What do you see?
Stokely?
How many?
About 20.
Including a Richard F. Stokely and a Richard S. Stokely, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Not that either of these gentlemen could be the defendant, but isn't it true, Sheriff, that men named Richard are often referred to as Rich?
I suppose.
Well, if we have 2 Rich Stokeleys right up in the city of San Francisco, how many Rich Stokeleys do you think we have in the state of California, or in the entire country, for that matter? Now, Sheriff, isn't it entirely possible, as my client testified earlier, that it could have been someone using his name for what purpose we do not know, or that it was another Rich Stokely altogether?
That's him. That's the man who killed Otis Clark. I saw him.
Mr. Bickers, you're a rancher in Jackson, California, isn't that correct?
I run about 5,000 head.
And aren't you also on the board of directors of the Cattlemen's Bank in Jackson?
I am.
And as such, did you have occasion to do business with the Bank of Stockton, in particular Otis Clark?
Many times. Otis and I were good friends.
Where were you on the night Mr. Clark was killed?
I was in night camp. We were out after some strays.
Then I take it you had ranch hands with you.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Bickers, is any one of the men who was with you that night in this courtroom right now?
Yes. Young fellow who signed on a few days before. That's him there. Rich Stokely.
See you, and I'll raise it 10.
Well, if it ain't Harry Banner. What are you doing in these parts?
Oh, looking at some breed stock down the valley ways. How you been, Charlie?
Fine, fine. How are things up in Stockton these days?
Just like they are here, I guess, at least when I left. Give us a whiskey.
Sure thing.
Sweetheart. How about bringing another bottle?
That's what I'm here for.
You're called, mister. You're gonna play poker or drink?
Buddy, I can do both.
That's for the bottle, and that's for you. You just stick around till I get through playing here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Gentlemen, I wish to inform you that should the evidence point equally to the guilt and innocence of the defendant, it is your sworn duty to take that view of the evidence that points to his innocence. Now, the law clearly prescribes, gentlemen, that where there is a reasonable doubt, and I wish to repeat that, a reasonable doubt, the defendant must be acquitted. And I feel that you gentlemen agree with me that we have far more than a reasonable doubt existing here today. Thank you.
Will the defendant please rise? Have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant, Rich Stokely, not guilty.
Thanks.
No! He did it! He killed my husband! You lied. You said justice would be done. You're letting that killer go! He promised me. Your son promised me. What kind of a man are you? Liar. Sarah, please. You call this justice? But my husband is dead at his hands. And your son is setting him free. My husband is dead. Do you hear me? My husband is dead. He's dead.
And here's a release for your horse and gear down at the livery stable.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Wire for you. Sheriff Dolan, Modesto. I reckon you better read it.
All right, thanks, Bert. Well, listen to this, Jared. Arriving afternoon stage with suspect answering to name of Stokely. Apprehended in possession of bills matching serial numbers from Stockton Bank robbery. Request you identify.
Let me see that, Fred.
Stokely, appears I owe you an apology.
I don't see why. You did what you believed to be right, same as Mr. Barkley here.
Well, I guess that'll clear up a lot of things.
Yes, I guess it will.
Why don't you stick around a while and get a look at this fellow caused you all this trouble?
No. No, I ought to be moving on. I still got my job up to Jackson. There's a lot of work waiting for me there.
Well, that goes for me, too. We got about 500 head of cattle that are a week overdue for roundup. Nick and the boys are going out to get them, and I think I'll just go along.
You?
Why not? A little fresh air, chuck wagon food, be just like a vacation.
I guess it would have done. Your campaign coming up, you might not get another chance for a while.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I guess we both better get going.
Well, sorry, Stokely.
Forget it. Thanks, Mr. Barkley.
Good luck, Rich. I guess I'll see you in about a week.
You know, I always figured you'd make a fine attorney general, Jared. I'm sure of it.
Just put all that in the form of a vote, will you, Fred?
Yeah.
I think this is a cause for a little celebration. Wouldn't you say, Heath?
I reckon so.
Well, for a little while there, I thought there was some doubt.
But a shadow of a doubt. You said so yourself.
Which has now been removed. I think that's enough joking about it. Let's forget it.
Forget it, on the contrary. I'm here to remind one and all that Jared did hold on to his convictions, and in the face of determined opposition. And I might add, from some members of his own family. Now, what kind of a man would do that? What kind of a man is standing before you now?
A man who should be occupying the office of Attorney General.
Here, here.
Speaking of occupying, we have a couple of saddles waiting for us.
Oh, you're coming with us, Brother Jared?
You bet I am, but I just want to close out the file on the Stokely case first, so I'll meet you in the morning.
We'll be in the north pasture in case you need anything. Oh, by the way, while you're not doing anything, you might give some thought to that speech you're going to make in front of the nominating committee. That's in 2 weeks. It's an acceptance speech.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Mother.
How much further we gotta ride?
Couple more hours.
Sure a waste of time.
You've said that.
I know, and I'll say it again. I didn't rob no bank, and I didn't kill no banker. I was over to Jackson when all that happened, working the ranch over there.
And how'd you get that money?
Oh. That's just a coincidence. Like everything else. Money changes hands, you know. I could have gotten it any place.
Well, that finishes the Stokely case. Now for a few beautiful days of chasing a bunch of hard-headed steer.
It's going to be very good for you.
I'll get it.
Thank goodness you're here. I was afraid you'd be out in the range.
What's the matter, Fred?
Harry Banner. He was in Modesto yesterday when Sheriff Dolan arrested that suspect he's bringing in.
What about it?
He says if you stood him up beside Rich Stokely, you'd swear they were twins.
What?
He saw them both in less than 24 hours, and he thought he was seeing double.
And the other man's name is also Stokely?
That's right.
You mean it's possible that I freed a guilty man this morning?
Well, that's what I was figuring.
Of course, why not? One here in Stockton, the other in Modesto. While one commits a crime here, the other covers for him someplace else.
Well, I'll know for sure when that stage gets here. Who could have figured there'd be two of them? Well, of course, we don't know for sure. It could be coincidental. Two people with the same name.
Don't go yet, Fred.
Fred, I think we could both use a brandy.
Right.
You want another, Fred?
No, thanks.
You want to take a swing at me, go ahead.
No, not now. This morning, maybe, when you had me on that witness stand.
Sorry, Fred. I'm afraid I was a little rough on you.
Oh, it wasn't as bad as all that. The only thing that really got me was to be told that I didn't see what I really had seen. It kind of shook my confidence in myself.
He's done a pretty good job on my confidence, too. I thought his story was airtight.
Now, wait a minute. You just did what you had to do. Well, maybe Harry Banner's wrong.
No. No, Harry Banner wasn't wrong. When I heard Fred say that Rich Stokely might be a twin, it brought something to mind that happened a long time ago. Happened right here in Stockton. Well, I'd forgotten all about it until Fred said what he did.
What are you getting at, Victoria?
Well, 20 years ago, I was a witness at a murder trial. These are the records. There was a man. His name was Stokely. And he was part of a gang that tried to rob the old miners' bank. There was a killing. I saw it. So did Otis.
Otis?
Otis Clark. He worked at the bank at that time. It was our testimony that convicted the man. When they took him from the courtroom, he screamed. He swore that if he ever got out, he'd kill us both. Well, they had given him life, so his threat didn't really worry me. But I never considered his children as part of that threat.
His children?
2 boys, both born on the same day.
Well, I gotta meet that stage. I take it you'll be around?
Yeah, I'll be around.
I'll be back when I find out something.
Well, I guess there's nothing to do but wait.
What time does the Modesto stage get in?
Late? About sundown.
Tell you again to keep your hands quiet.
Anything you say, Sheriff.
You all right, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Hey, driver! And you in the coach! Throw your guns out!
Oh, boy. You better do what he says.
Listen to me. I'm a sheriff from Modesto. Sheriff Dolan. I've got a prisoner here. There are no passengers, nothing of value on this coach.
He telling the truth, Billy? He sure is, Rich!
What is this?
Just him and me in here. Hand your gun over to my brother!
Brother.
That's right. Now, you gonna do like he says, or you gonna let that driver up there get killed?
I got it, Rich! Come on out! Now get me out of these!
Twin brothers.
That's right.
Now get out of here. What'd you do that for? You were supposed to keep out of sight till you heard from me. How come you went spending that money? All I wanted was a couple of drinks. A little fun. I got tired of waiting. You got tired of waiting. How long did Pa have to wait? Come on. Let's finish what we gotta do and clear out of this country.
Jared, Fred won't be back for some time. Now sit down and relax.
I am perfectly relaxed.
You're worried, aren't you?
Worried? Sure, I'm worried. I'm worried about that nominating committee.
Well, they can't condemn you for upholding your convictions.
Oh, you think they can't? Those men are politicians. All they care about is winning an election.
They were the same way before the trial. You weren't worried then.
Well, that was different.
True. So why don't you say what's on your mind? You're worried about me, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Well, Jared, I must admit, I don't like the idea of one or both of those men probably planning to kill me, but, I'm not going to let it spoil our dinner. Come on, let's eat.
Jim. What? Twins.
Place is empty. They're all out and around it. You go that way, I'll go that way.
I thought you might like some coffee.
I sure would. Thank you. What are you doing?
Oh, kind of catching up on my reading. You?
Just trying to finish this acceptance speech, just in case I still win that nomination.
Well, then I'll let you alone.
Evening, Mrs. Barkley. Figure maybe you'd like to meet my brother. Billy? Come on out here. Take a good look at the woman who killed our pa. So, this is Mrs. Barkley.
How did you get in here?
Jimmy'd opened the back window. Wasn't nobody around to stop us. Hold on now, Billy. We got plenty of time. Just like Pa had. Plenty of time.
Oh, you're fools, both of you. If you've come here to get revenge for what happened to your father, you made a big mistake.
No, Mrs. Barkley, you made the mistake. 20 years ago.
Your father was a murderer. He got exactly what he deserved.
And you put him there to die. You and that banker.
That's why we're here. It's what Pa wanted.
Have you forgotten what my son Jared did for you? You're a free man. But if you kill me, they'll hang you for sure.
Have a hard time proving it was us, Mrs. Barkley.
It doesn't make any difference which one of you does it. They'll get you both for murder.
All right, that's enough. You just quiet down and shut up.
All right now, Mrs. Barkley. Turn around. I said, turn around. All right? You want it like this.
Get up there!
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Jared? Jared, how did it go?
You mean my acceptance speech?
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't make it.
Oh. Well, why not?
Well, simple fact is, I turned the nomination down.
Oh?
I've been doing a lot of thinking since I had that little talk with Nick about the hard practicalities of politics. All the compromises. The really hard facts that I hadn't thought about. I just decided that I wasn't a politician after all. I'm a lawyer.
Well, I'm not disappointed, not really.
You know, somehow I didn't think you would be.
Town will take a chance on a new doctor.
Now, this new doctor, he wouldn't be young and handsome, would he?
I don't know,
But you've heard that he is, and you'd like to find out for yourself, hmm?
Mother, how could you think... Anyway, you haven't any objections to going to a young, good-looking doctor, have you?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't.
I'll be out in a moment. Please be seated.
Vienna School of Medicine. Very impressive. I wonder why he came here.
Well, whatever the reason, I think the people in this town should be glad that he did come to Stockton. He could have gone elsewhere.
Yes, I suppose he could have.
I'm afraid that chemical reactions over a Bunsen burner don't have the courtesy to wait while a doctor greets his patients. How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Dr. Belden, and I'm most sorry to have kept you waiting.
Well, I hope we didn't interrupt anything important.
I assure you, you have not. Mrs.
Barclay, Victoria Barclay. This is my daughter, Audra.
So nice to meet you, Doctor.
It's entirely my pleasure. You know, in the short time I've been here, I've heard more about your family than I have about Stockton.
Well, I wouldn't believe everything I've heard.
Please, make yourselves comfortable.
Found him hanging in the livery stable. He was barely breathing when I cut him down. This way.
Mr. Gibbons?
That's right.
Everett Gibbons tried to take his own life?
No. The way he was tied up, somebody tried for him.
Easy. If you'll wait outside, please.
Victoria, I'm sorry you had to see this. I know you and Everett have been friends for many years.
30 years.
Well, I gotta be going. Doc, thanks. You did the best you could, considering.
Considering? What, I wonder? The Dr. Marrar might have been able to save him if he'd been here. If I were, perhaps, 20 years older, more experienced.
Doctor, when I was a child, I had a filly colt that was struck by lightning. And when she died, and for a long time after that, I blamed those that tried to save her. You see, I didn't understand. Understanding takes time. A great deal of time.
Perhaps.
People have to get to know you.
Doctor, tomorrow evening I'm having the publisher of the Stockton paper for dinner. Won't you join us?
Well, thank you. I'd like to very much.
Good. Shall we say 7:30?
7:30 it is. Thank you again.
Mother, didn't you want to ask the doctor something about yourself?
Ask me what?
She hasn't been feeling well these past few days.
Oh, it's nothing serious. I have been a little bit under the weather.
You were running a fever last night.
Only because it was very warm and I was tired. And if I don't look well now, Doctor, it's because it's lunchtime and I'm very hungry.
Well, if you're sure, you know it'll only take...
No, it won't be necessary, Doctor. My children have a tendency to over-worry about my health. They don't know I plan to outlive them all. Good day.
Good day.
There you are, Martin.
Thank you, Victoria.
More cake.
Oh, no thanks. However, I could use a spot of brandy in this coffee if Jared would have a mind.
Just as soon as I put this 12 ball in a corner pocket.
Then I'll help myself. That'll cost you.
And you, too, if the good doctor's eye is as sharp as it's been all evening.
I'm afraid it's more a question of pure luck than a sharp eye. I haven't played pool in years, not since my father taught me as a boy.
Easy now. You're holding your cue too tight, son. Yeah, that's better. Nice shot, son. You're getting pretty good. Before I know it, you'll be showing me how it's done.
Oh, no, Father. It'll be a long time before anybody can come near you in a game of billiards.
Thank you, but don't advertise that around town. I'm a banker, and some people think that billiards is a game invented by the devil. They expect a banker to be a saint, you know. Truth is, saints don't make good bankers.
Was he, Doctor? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb your concentration. I was just wondering if your father was as cautious as you are.
My father wasn't cautious in the least. A 12 ball in the corner.
Your father did a good job. You're winning, sir. Now, how about a chance to recoup?
You, baby. I've still got a special edition to put to bed.
A special edition? What about Martin?
Eb Gibbons' murder.
Oh?
Is this some new development?
You might say that. Sheriff found a note in the livery stable yesterday. Killer must have pinned it to Eb's body and it fell off. It was done in straw. Oh, wait a minute here. I made a tracing out of it.
For what they did together, all will die as he did. That looks like the scroll length of a child.
I know.
Now, obviously, the meaning didn't come from the mind of a child.
But what they did together, all will die. Kind of sounds like he intends to kill again.
Yeah, that's what we're afraid of.
Sounds frightening.
Yes, I know, Audrey. But the one thing about a killer is that he always trips himself up. Well, I've got to go.
Oh.
Victoria, it's been delightful as always. And I wish you'd invite me more often. We don't see enough of each other. You know, you've been looking a mite on the pale side this evening. I've never known you not to have roses in those cheeks.
I never felt better.
Don't bother to show me out. I know the way. Jared, Audrey.
Good night.
Nice meeting you, Doctor. Oh, I'll see we get your name in print so folks will know you're around.
Thank you.
Night, Victoria.
Good night.
Well, I'd better be running along, too.
Oh, can't you stay for another cup of coffee?
Thank you, but it is getting late, and Mr. Erskine is right. You are looking a little pale. May I suggest some rest? There have been a few cases of influenza going around.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing but a slight cold, but thank you for your concern. And thank you for coming tonight.
This has been the most delightful evening I've spent since I've been in Stockton. Good night, Audrey. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night.
I'll see you to the door.
I'm almost done, Father. Only one more.
Audra?
Jared, what are you doing up so late?
I was doing some reading and dozed off. What's your excuse, young lady? Do you realize it's past 3 o'clock in the morning?
Jared, I'm worried about Mother. She's been restless all night, and now she has a fever.
A fever? All right, I'll ride into town, get Doc Belton out here right away. Sheriff.
Jared, I know it's late, but this is very important.
Yes, of course. Come on in.
Thanks. Well, it's happened again. Martin Erskine was killed tonight.
What? How'd it happen?
Same way. I found him in his office. He'd been hanged just like Gibbons.
It's impossible to believe. Was there another note?
Yeah. Yeah, there was. That's why I'm here tonight. Read it.
This is number 2. Sweet dreams. Victoria Barkley. You're number 3.
Jared, what was your mother's connection with Evan Martin?
None. None at all, except that they were friends. Good friends.
Yeah, I know that. But beyond that, that first note said, for what they did together, all will die as he did. Now, were they partners in anything? In a business or something?
Never.
Jared, I think you better get your mother down here. We got to talk.
No, Sheriff. I don't want to wake her. She hasn't been feeling well, and this would only...
Yeah, well, all right, but we got to talk to her as soon as possible. Meanwhile, she's got to have protection.
I'll take care of that. Nick's out on the West Range. I think I'll get him back here, too.
Well, that's a good idea. How about Heath?
No, he's up in the hills chasing Mustangs. There's no way to reach him. Sheriff, do you mind if I make a tracing of this?
Oh, right ahead. Think someone might recognize the handwriting?
I plan to find out.
It's unbelievable. Just unbelievable. First, Mr. Gibbons, then Erskine, and now your mother.
Now, don't worry about her. She'll be well protected.
Yes, of course. And you did the right thing in not telling her.
I'm sure it's nothing serious with Mother, but we'd all feel better if you take a look at it.
Oh, yes, certainly.
Good. Thanks, Doc. By the way, Audra doesn't know about the note either. I think it's better to leave it that way until we have some answers.
I won't say a thing to her.
Good. Maybe I'll see you at the ranch later. When'd you get here, Nick?
Oh, about a half hour ago.
Mac fill you in?
Yeah, everything about it. I just told Audra I got home sooner than I expected. Is all. Anything new?
No, not really. I took the note over to Emily Pearson, see if she might recognize the handwriting.
Looks like it was written by some kid.
It wasn't written by a kid. Whoever wrote it wants us to think that. Doc Belden is still here?
Yep.
Why?
Well, at first he thought it was influenza. But now he knows it's pneumonia.
You looked up, son. That's why you missed.
I guess I don't feel much like playing. I was thinking about what Mother said at dinner tonight.
Son, I did what I thought was right. As a banker, I had certain responsibilities. A little more time, everything would have been fine. I'd have been a hero instead of... Your mother called me a fool, didn't she?
Whatever she thinks, she's wrong. I know she's wrong.
Thank you, son. If you believe that, then I'm not alone. I'll never be alone.
You're not alone, Father.
There's someone in here.
No, there's no one here, Mrs. Barkley. Perhaps you heard someone in the hall.
What is that?
Something to make you sleep.
No, I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep.
Please, Mrs. Barkley.
Doctor.
You're ill. This will help you.
I want to see my family. Where are my sons, my daughter? I want to see them. Please, doctor, please. They are my reason for living, don't you understand? They If you take them away from me, if you don't let me see them, I will die. No. Jared.
You'll sleep now, Mrs. Barkley. Yes?
Dr. Belden, it's Audrey. May I come in? Dr. Belden? Dr. Belden?
You'll live now, Mrs. Barkley, I promise. You've just given me every reason for a mother to live.
Is something wrong?
No? No, she's sleeping.
Doctor, you look tired. Why don't you get some rest?
Oh, you're the one who needs rest. Please, why don't you try to sleep? I'll call you if there's any change.
Oh, no, really, I couldn't. Nick will show you where the guest room is.
Well, if you insist, I'll nap for a few minutes on the sofa in the hall. All we can do now is wait.
Doctor? Won't you come in, Doctor?
Oh, Audrey. No. That can't be the same patient I saw there a little while ago.
Hello, Doctor.
Would you look at him? I just can't believe it.
Yes? There's no doubt about it. The fever's broken. You ought to be able to celebrate in a few days if you do exactly as I say. The temperature seems to be normal now, but it's very important that you keep warm. And rest, plenty of rest, along with a teaspoon of this every 3 hours.
Audrey says you've been here since 4 o'clock.
For this moment, I would gladly have come sooner.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
No thanks are necessary. I only did what had to be done. Oh, when this bottle's used up, would you stop by my office? I'll refill it.
Afternoon, Jared. Nick.
Afternoon.
Oh, well, how's your mother feeling?
Much better, thanks. Be up and around in a couple of days.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. Nick, things been quiet around here?
Yeah. What brings you out, Sheriff?
This telegram came from Martin Erskine this morning.
From Martin?
Yeah.
Janet Davis died insane 2 years ago. Whereabouts of son unknown. Would have answered sooner, but the catfish are biting. Regards, Jackson, St. Louis Courier.
So?
I didn't think much about it at first, Nick, but then I realized that Martin telegraphed St. Louis just hours after we found Everett Gibbons in the livery stable.
Janet Davis.
You know, it's funny, I remember that name, but I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I wired that Jackson fella in St. Louis, and here's the answer I got. Shocked over tragic death of Martin Erskine. Regarding Janet Davis, suggest you refer to Stockton Eagle bank files for full account on her husband, Emery Davis, and Miner's bank failure.
Miner's bank? That was years ago.
Yeah, well, I think we ought to investigate this whole thing further.
All right. Best place to start would be Martin's office.
Good. I'll meet you back in town. Barney.
Nick, I'll spell you just as soon as I get back.
Jared? Are you going into town? I have to get Mother some medicine. Can I go with you?
Why, Miss Barkley, I should be delighted to have your enchanting company.
Nick, where'd the sheriff want?
Well, we lost a couple of head of cattle, and, well, he had a couple of leads he thought we should know about.
Your carriage awaits.
Now, what is all that with the hand kissing?
Crude fellow. Knows nothing of continental manners. Giddy up.
Continental man.
Ooh, I'll be in my office for a few hours, so I'll pick you up about 3, all right?
Fine, I have some shopping to do anyway.
Giddy up.
Audra, if you're planning to go in and see that doctor, well, I just wouldn't advise it. Oh, the nerve!
Mrs. DeCoven, what happened?
In 20 years, Dr. Moran never asked me to take my clothes off. Audra, I warned you now.
Audra.
Dr. Belden, shame on you. I just saw Mrs. DeCoven.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, I'm discovering that diagnostic techniques have advanced more rapidly than some patients' understanding. I trust that your mother is improving.
Well, she doesn't want to stay in bed any longer, and she's starting to give orders again.
Ah, that's a sure sign of recovery.
Yes, thanks to you.
She's a good patient. And I might add, she has a very competent nurse by her side.
Well, I did try to keep after her to take her medicine. She finished it this morning.
Good. I'll refill it. Just take a few minutes.
Nothing. Keep this up much longer. I'm going to need glasses. What are you doing?
Just going through these indexes again. Martin published a pretty good newspaper, but he sure didn't know anything about keeping records. G's filed under W. Here, take a look at this. First Selden's obituary, filed under O. Now, wait a minute. O for obituary.
Well, we looked under D for Davis. Where do you suppose it'd be?
I don't know. Why don't you start over here? I'll take these and we'll check every file in here.
Oh, there we are.
Thank you. Well, I know you must be busy, so I'd better be going.
I was thinking of taking the day off. Maybe taking a quiet drive through your beautiful countryside. I find that most relaxing.
It sounds lovely.
I was thinking, perhaps you'd do me the honor of joining me?
Well, thank you, but I'm supposed to meet my brother at 3.
I'll have you back before 3, I promise.
Well,
The idea doesn't appeal to you?
on the contrary, I'd love to go.
Wonderful. Wonderful. If you just wait outside, I'll close up the office.
Is something wrong, Doctor?
Well, for one thing, that Doctor, it's pretty formal under the circumstances. Do you suppose we could make it Jim?
All right, Jim.
That's better. Audra, there's an old ranch house down that road. I've been there on several occasions. It fascinates me. Would you like to see it?
If you'd like.
Or perhaps you'd rather go on.
No, I'd like to see it.
Good. Good.
Despondent over failure of the Miners Bank, which closed its doors after this newspaper revealed that Davis had overextended the bank's capitalization, investing in worthless mining ventures. Heavy withdrawals created a run on the bank and forced its closure when depositors learned that the principal investors, namely Everett Givens and Victoria Barkley, had withdrawn their funds in support for what they did together.
Martin made a note here. See follow-up June 15th. Jared, here it is. Widow leaves town. Mrs. Emery Janet Davis, with her 9-year-old son, departed this morning's stage. Eastbound for St. Louis, presumably to take up new residence in that city. The Davis family holdings, including the ranch home northeast of town, have been turned over to the county clerk for disposition. Well, that must be that old place that the county is always trying to sell every year for taxes.
Yeah. Son finds body hanging in study. Sheriff, why don't we get a couple of horses and take a little ride?
You know, Audra, there's something about being here. It must be the quiet. As though time's standing still. Any man who would build something like this must have had a wife. Children. I mean, look around. Isn't this an expression of love?
You have quite an imagination.
Perhaps.
Mother, I don't understand. Why do we have to go away? I like it here. It's our home.
It was our home. Next week, it'll belong to the county. Because your father has been disgraced.
No, my father's a fine man. Nobody can say bad things about him.
They don't understand, son. You're the only one who understands.
Jim?
What?
You did want to show me around, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, of course. Why else would I bring you here? Well, of course, you must imagine the house as it was. With fresh paint and paper, comfortable furniture, and there was always a fire in the fireplace.
Right now, that's not too easy to imagine.
Really, I can see it very clearly.
This looks like it was a billiard room.
Yes, this was the billiard room.
Jimmy, you all right?
Yes. Perhaps you'd prefer to see the kitchen. It's back that way.
Fine.
Jim, I thought you were helping your father pack.
No, he's still in his study. I didn't want to disturb him.
Nonsense. It's time to leave. You'd better go tell him.
All right, Mother. I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
Don't be frightened. I'm not going to hurt your mother. No. No, that would be senseless. Waste. She as much as said so herself, you know. Her death would prove nothing. Oh. But yours. Hey, see, your mother would suffer that. As he suffered. And as my mother suffered. You see? Audra. It won't take long. No. Audra. It won't take long. I told you, it won't take long at all. And you see, Father would be so pleased.
Shut! You better. Listen. Listen to me. It'll be quick. I promise you. I'm a doctor. I wouldn't hurt you.
Audra, I couldn't hurt you, please. Audra!
Listen to me!
Now the others. Gibbons. Martin Erskine. No, I didn't care. I didn't care about them. They deserve what they got. But you You know, be different with you. Don't you understand? I don't want to do it. But I must. No! Shh. Yes? Father expects it. Yes, I must. I can't let him down. I gotta do it for him.
You're insane!
Oh, no, don't say that. That's not true. I mean, he wouldn't believe you. He wouldn't. Please.
Help! Somebody please help me!
Audra. Audra! Audra, you don't understand.
That sounded like Belden.
Yeah, around back. Listen to me, I have to. Father expects it.
Belden.
Who are you? Go away. You know right here. You better get off this ranch. This is my father's ranch, you know.
Where's Audra? What have you done with her?
Nothing. I haven't done anything. I guess she didn't like it here. Why'd she run away? Go away! You hear me? Go away!
Hold it, Doc. Right there.
I'll tell. You can't stop me. You know right. You can't stop me. Go away!
How's Audra?
Oh, she's hungry. Silas brought her a bowl of soup, but she'd have none of that. I think she wants a steak about 3 inches thick.
Well, that's a good sign. Where is she?
She's in the gunroom with Mother.
Oh. Remember, Chef, she likes it nice and rare. Well, you ladies are looking lovely this evening.
Jared?
Mother, Audra.
Is it over?
Yes, Audra, it's over. We buried him beside his father.
It's all so hard to believe. He seems so kind, so gentle.
Audra. You know, I've been thinking about those notes he left. It's almost as though he wanted someone to stop him. Wanted to be caught.
Jared, maybe someday there will be a better understanding of things like this.
Maybe. Well, I am starved. I think I'll join you.
Well, looks to me like your kings be my queen. No dealer. Put 2 in the middle. Same game. Oh, it's heat. Something else.
Wheeler. Your deal, Wheeler.
You come from around here?
Just passing through.
I don't blame you.
How about you?
Got some business here. I'm heading up to Stockton.
Stockton, huh? I'm heading up that way, too, as soon as this heat lets up.
Has been hot. Cool. How many?
I'll play these.
Dealer takes one.
Opener checks.
Check.
10s over 8s.
Each pair. Mister, I'm used to getting my cards from the top.
You are, mister. Oh, no. Wait, hold it. I'm not going to kill a man over $2. Here, take your money.
Me neither. Only I have a reputation for not being cheated. I wouldn't want to spoil it.
You're making a mistake, mister, a big mistake.
Well, we'll see about that. You got no taste for guns. How are you with your hands?
Without your invitation.
Or you could apologize for dealing seconds.
Oh, no. Let's go. You set me up.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Well, now that you feel better, I'm willing to call it even.
Well, I'm not. Not by a long way.
You want to change your mind?
For the time being.
Well, what's it all about? The Gruder there is worth $200 to the sheriff at Sonora.
What about the other?
He got in the way.
It'll take 3 days to clear this up.
And I'm in a hurry. I'll sell him to you for $150.
I don't particularly like bounties. If you want your money, you'll have to wait.
Well, I've waited this long. You still mad? Come on, I'll buy you a drink. I owe you one. Well, it's not going to cost you anything. Besides, it's still too hot to travel. Come on.
Well, I don't believe it. Have you got the deed?
Right here.
Would you mind telling me what took you so long? You've been gone almost 2 weeks.
Oh, that's what I call a very warm welcome. No, how was the trip? Are you tired? Did you have any trouble?
How was the trip?
Long?
Are you tired?
Dead?
Did you have any trouble?
Plenty.
Well, now that those amenities are over with, would you mind telling me what took you so long?
Well, I had to get 15 signatures on that deed, and I had to go in 15 different directions to do it. Anyhow, anything new with the ranch?
Unless you consider a bear eating some of the stock new.
You sure it's a bear?
Yes, I'm sure.
A bear will attack a herd, will attack almost anything.
Yes, Nick, I know that. That's why I have half the ranch out looking for it. Nick, who the devil crossed out paragraph 4? I said, who crossed out paragraph 4?
Signature 3.
But I put that in there specifically.
That's the way he took it out.
You want some rest. The ranch is that way.
Which way? Howdy, Franklin.
Howdy, Mr. Barkley. Welcome home.
It's good to be back. Say, you wouldn't have any of that Lowry saddle soap in stock, would you?
Don't think so. Not much demand for it. Besides, your saddle looks fine.
Oh, I don't want it for my saddle. I want it for myself. Would you mind taking a look? Now.
Sure, Mr. Barkley.
Yeah.
I'll get the rest of the shingles in just a moment, ma'am.
Howdy, miss. My name's Nick Barkley.
Mr. Barkley?
You're new in town, aren't you?
That's right.
Nice to see you plan to stay for a while.
A while.
Here, I'll get that. Hold it. Now, I show you around a little bit, show you a little bit of the town, maybe, huh?
Oh, I already saw it when I rode in.
Let me guess now. You're here to teach school, right?
Wrong.
Dressmaker.
Only when I have to be.
All right, I give up.
Oh, it's nice to have that settled.
Oh, well,
Sorry, Nick. No Lowry saddle soap.
Oh.
This is our last bundle of shingles. This will get you started. Have more tomorrow, the next day.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you didn't tell me your name.
No, I didn't, did I?
Me too, Nick.
Who is she?
Open an account under the name of Lael Johnson. She's staying at the old Miller place.
Old Miller place, huh? By herself?
I forgot to ask her.
Somebody should.
Well, how did he get away this time?
Darn about it.
Oh, did you mention offering a bounty?
I pledged us for $100. Parker and Hayes said they'd match it.
No, $300 ought to get some results.
Maybe with an ordinary bear, but not with this one. Say, when these puppies get weaned?
Oh, they've been on feed for 3 days now. Jared's going to start passing them out tomorrow.
Well, don't forget, I promised that one to Mike Cassidy, the bartender.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Nick, how was your trip?
Great, just great.
You must be very tired.
Oh, no, not a bit. It was downhill all the way.
You don't look like a man's been in the saddle 2 weeks.
I'm just getting my second win.
Well, good. Maybe you can go out hunting with us in the morning. We got a bear killing our livestock.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We got a bear killing our livestock.
Oh, well, bears will be bears, you know. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Oh, something came up while I was in town. I thought maybe I should get it settled.
Tell me something, Heath.
Hmm?
Is my imagination playing tricks, or did your brother Nick come in here after being away for a few weeks, pick up some shingles, and then leave without really saying hello or goodbye?
You know, I was going to ask you the same thing.
Oh.
Whoa! Hello again, Miss Johnson.
Mr. Barkley,
Say, I wonder if you could help me out.
if I can.
Help me get rid of these shingles here.
That's very considerate of you, but I am.
You are in need of shingles. And I just so happen to have these 2 bundles hanging around the barn. And, well, I started getting kind of concerned about the horses. Afraid they might step on them and hurt themselves.
I have enough for now and more on order.
Oh, it looks like rain. And you want to know something? There is nothing more useless than a shingle without a roof under it, expecting rain.
There's not a cloud in the sky. And I'm not in the habit of being in debt to anyone.
Oh, no, you'll be doing me a favor. You know, I spent 6 months looking for a place for those shingles.
Hmm. Well, you can store them here for the time being, but when my order comes in, I'm going to replace them.
Oh, no, come on, I'll do that. Here, come on.
Thank you. I'm used to doing for myself.
Well, now, I'm very glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you live alone.
Oh!
Oh, that must have hurt. Ah, something you gotta learn. When you're hammering, you gotta keep your eyes on that nail. Here, show you what I mean. Now, you set the shingle in here like this, see? Right up there, snug, and you grab your nail, take your hammer, like this. Oh, oh! Oh, that hurt. Oh, I'm very good at giving advice. I'm not very good at taking it. Ah.
Let me see.
Oh, you think it'll live?
You didn't hit your hand at all.
You want me to?
No! Are you always like this?
No, I'm usually very shy.
I'm sure.
Say, did you ever meet anyone that made you feel like you were kicked in the stomach and you kept talking, trying to hide it?
Yes.
And it happened right from the first look?
Yes. A long time ago. Look. There's something I have to tell you.
Now, wait a minute. If you're going to talk to me about your past, I don't want to hear anything about it. Now, nobody lives in a crate waiting for that special someone to come by with a crowbar, open it up, and let him out. Only statues do that. Statues are just about as cold as gun butts.
I'll make some coffee.
Well, wait a minute. Why don't you go make some coffee?
Yeah, I think I will.
Here. Easy now. That's it.
The stove!
What?
The stove! They're ruined.
Oh, it's not much damage, just a little smoke.
I just put them up yesterday.
My sister Audra, before she went to New York, bought this whole bunch of curtain material, and she only used half of it.
It's just getting in the way.
That's right.
Must be wonderful to have so many things to get in the way. Why do I always have to have holes in the roof and broken window panes and loose floorboards? Why does everything always need painting? Every time I try to make something nice, it goes wrong.
Oh, easy now, easy. Can't be that bad. Nothing's that bad.
I'm all right now, thank you, Mr. Barkley.
Now, if you're going to go on calling me Mr. Barkley, do you mind if I call you Lael? Like, Lael, can I help you paint your barn?
The barn doesn't need painting.
Now, the almanac says it's going to be a very rough winter.
Is that so? Nick.
Ah, see? How much better that is? Now that we're on a first-name basis. Tomorrow night, I want to pick you up and take you out to dinner. 8 o'clock.
I can't.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock sharp.
Nick?
These the one you mean, Mr. Nick?
Those are the ones.
And the real good silver?
The best we've got. And don't forget, I want that champagne chilled. Huh?
You better hurry. They're waiting for you.
Good morning, Mother. Have a little coffee?
Well, you're pretty chipper for a man going on a bear hunt.
Bear has nothing to do with it.
Ah, the girl.
The girl.
The girl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. You've known her for such a long time.
Now, Mother, remember that Arab filly we paid $2,000 for?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 10 minutes before you wrote that check, we had never laid eyes on her.
Hey, Nick, come on, we're moving out.
Turned out to be the best buy we ever made. Right?
That makes 17.
This one looks like he just got it, too.
Looks like he went into that cave. All right, the rest of you men set up a crossfire in case he gets past us.
Bring some torches. Right away. My rifle.
Right. Let me have your piece there, will you, Gene? Thank you.
If I'd have known he'd leave himself a back door.
Uh-huh.
Okay, ante up, boys. Jacks are better. Nick, you want to sit in a hand?
No, I feel like I've been on the saddle for 2 weeks. I'm gonna turn in. Good luck.
Thank you. Dealer opens for 4 bits.
Good evening, ma'am. 8 o'clock sharp. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm late. I'm sorry.
You're not late.
I am. 2 minutes. Look at that. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh, no,
What's the matter?
I thought I'd make dinner for us here.
Oh, no, not the way you're dressed so pretty. We're gonna go out.
Nick, I don't feel like going all the way into town.
Well, who said anything about going into town? The place I picked is nice and quiet and private.
No,
I think maybe you just might need this, too. Do you mind if we use your buckboard? Huh?
Well, all right.
The carriage awaits.
Oh, Nick.
Surprised?
Surprise. I can hardly believe it. Champagne?
Uh-huh. And a vintage year. Let's toast my lucky star.
Which one is it?
Well, anyway, it's one of them, whichever one is working overtime. Let's toast them all.
Where are we going?
I have something that belongs to you.
Oh, it's beautiful. You must come here often.
Oh, yes, whenever the sky gets a little too old, a little low, mountains start crowding in. Ground comes up to meet me. Well, it's my special sort of place.
To bring dinner guests?
Oh, no. You're the only one that's ever been here. I found this place when I was a boy. When I was only 6 years old, I used to come here and play.
Cowboys and Indians?
Well, now, when I was 6 years old, there were lots of cowboys and Indians. And I used to be Sir Lancelot. I used the top of a keg of nails for a shield and a sunflower stalk as a sword. That old oak there, he was the Black Knight. I used to challenge him. And I must have killed him 1,000 times. It's a wonder to me how healthy he stayed all these years. I saved this place just for you.
We only met yesterday.
Just didn't know your name until yesterday. I've been waiting for you a long time.
It was absolutely delicious.
I hoped you'd like it.
My compliments to the chef.
Well, you may deliver those personally.
What?
I'd like you to come to my home.
Oh, I'm afraid I
Oh, no. Well, there's no sense saying no. I want you to meet my family.
Nick. There's something I must tell you.
And there's something I must tell you. It's about my brothers. You have to be very careful. Old Heath, for one, he'll kick the carpet a couple of times, and then he'll slowly herd you into the pantry where he's very dangerous. And then Jared will find you in the pantry and start talking to you about your mind. He'll get you in the drawing room, and He's very lethal.
Nick, take me home, please.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's late, and you have to get back to camp.
Don't worry.
Have it, Jim.
Morning, Nick. You sleep good?
Lord, some people... It's daylight.
Well, boy, howdy, it sure is.
What's everyone standing around for? We got a mountain lion to catch.
A bear?
Now, listen, I just overslept a little bit.
You mean underslept? I heard you fall over a rock when you came in.
Where's my saddle? On your horse.
Mother!
Mother?
Want a drink, Heath?
No, I'll settle for a hot bath.
From your expression, I gather you had no more luck today than yesterday.
How was the party, Mr. Nick?
It was great. And she said to give her compliments to the chef.
She said that?
That's right. That's just the way she said it. As plain as day. Give my compliments to the chef.
What do you know about that? What do you know about that?
What was that all about?
Well, last night, Silas set up a little picnic for me and a friend.
In the middle of a bear hunt?
Well, I never did need much sleep, you know.
Now, don't tell me. Let me guess who she is. The gal with the beautiful eyes and no shingles.
Well, wait till you meet her.
Oh, I'm looking forward
Well, you
to
just
it.
best be sitting down when it happens. Don't say I didn't warn you. This is the one. This is the girl. Not kidding. Oh, that reminds me. I have a chore I have to take care of.
Will you be home for dinner?
Probably. And I just frankly home a house guest.
Evening, Lil.
Nick.
No, you shouldn't be out after dark with a bear roaming about.
Oh, I had to go into town. I picked up the shingles I owe you.
Well, no, that's not important. Bears have been known to attack human beings, you know.
Yes, I know.
That's why I thought maybe you might need a little protection.
Oh.
His name is Sir Lancelot. His father was a wolf. His mother was the best hunting dog in all of San Joaquin. He may tend to be a little vicious, but I'm sure he'll take to you as quick as I did.
Oh, Nick. Oh, you darling. Oh, I feel more secure already.
Now you don't have to be alone anymore.
No. Sir Lancelot's going to be great company.
We're both going to keep you company tonight. I want you to meet my family.
Oh, Nick, I can't.
Why not?
Well, I have so many things to do. The stove, I
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm having company.
Company?
Yeah. Nick Barkley's coming to dinner.
Oh, him. Well, now. You better keep your eye on him.
Yes, I will. Oh, Nick, Mr. Lancelot.
Tomorrow night, we're going to blindfold Sir Lancelot.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Hello, Lil.
Kind of a lonesome homecoming, honey. Where were you?
I wasn't expecting you. I had to go into town.
Who's your friend?
My friend?
A dog.
Oh, Sir Lancelot.
Sir Lancelot, huh? Hello, Sir Lancelot. I like that. Leo.
I guess I can't rightly blame you.
6 months ago, a wire, meet me in Denver. Denver, I got a wire, meet me in San Diego. In San Diego, I got a wire, meet me in Stockton. What were you expecting, a red carpet?
I know, but you gotta give me a chance. Look, here. What I brought you back. Huh? You like that? That costs $3. Well, now, don't go away, folks. There's more to come. You like it? You will be the belle of any man's ball. The trouble is, it needs some ornamentation, like that brooch that I... What's this doing in here?
Well, why shouldn't it be among the souvenirs? In the 7 years we've been married, I've only had the right to wear it for 7 months.
Put it on.
Wheeler, how many men did you have to kill for all these presents?
Not as many as I had to kill for these medals.
Why couldn't you stop when everybody else did?
Because I don't know how to do anything else better. Leo, I'm home.
How long are you home this time?
Good?
I've heard that before.
No, you haven't. Now, this time, I mean it, Leo. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go into that town. I'm going to buy the biggest rocking chair that I can find, and I'm just going to sit out in that front porch and watch the corn grow.
That's not the way corn grows.
Leo, I mean it. You keep it.
Why? Hiding a gun won't stop you from killing.
Where are you all meeting today?
We're going to meet in town, then head out to Willard Row.
Well, Thompson put some honeycomb out there yesterday's bait.
I'll be down at the corral, Nick, whenever you're ready.
Right.
I was sorry Miss Johnson couldn't come to dinner last night.
Not any more than I was. Well, I guess, he was just a little shy, is all.
Well, perhaps if I invited her personally.
Would you?
There, Nancy. Give me the pot.
Hello there.
Good morning. I'm trying to get Sir Lancelot here to give me his paw. He sure isn't interested in learning any tricks.
So it seems.
I can't understand why. He looks so intelligent.
Well, looks can be deceiving. Even in college puppies.
I'm sure you're right. I'm
Lale Johnson.
And you're Victoria Barkley.
Nick has told me many things about you, but he never mentioned the fact that you've been married.
That's because he doesn't know.
Don't you think he should know? I'm sure the fact that you're a widow wouldn't make any difference.
I'm not a widow. Please come inside. I'd like you to meet my husband. Here, Mrs. Barkley. Citations for bravery, for courage, for killing. This is my husband. See, when I met him, he was a bank teller. He was as kind and gentle as that puppy there. And then the war came. And he went in as a private, and he came out a colonel. That's where he found himself. That's where he stayed.
He's still in the army.
He's just still at war. He's a professional killer.
Well, that puts Nick in a very interesting position, doesn't it?
I didn't set out to fall in love with Nick. The first time I met him, there was no reason to tell him I was married. And the second time, he wouldn't let me. The third time I didn't want to.
I came out here because Nick asked me to invite you to our home for dinner.
I planned to tell Nick the truth.
When?
Right away. My husband came home last night. He's gone into town now. What's wrong?
Nick's on his way to town.
Well, that's all right, Mrs. Barkley. They don't know each other.
Nick Barkley.
See you over the sewer, Heath.
Wheeler, I don't want to appear to be unfriendly. Well, we do have a sheriff here. He does a very good job, so we have no want or need for a bounty hunter.
Do I look like I'm hunting down bounty money?
At the moment, no.
You can take my word for it, I'm not. I made a promise to my wife. I've given up that game. Tell me something, Nick. Would you say I look better in this one or in this one? You don't believe me, do you?
Last time I took your word, I was sorry.
Just like my wife. She doesn't believe me either. Hey, merchant. How much is this thing?
$2.
$2?
Two.
All right. I guess that's cheap enough to prove a point.
Do you have a buckboard?
I don't need a buckboard.
Oh.
Now, take it easy, horse. Well, how would you do it?
Well, put it on the back of the horse like he's going to sit on it. Yeah, like he's going to sit on it.
It works. You know, I think I'll just have to buy you a drink.
And I just might drink it. Oh, it'll work as long as he doesn't decide to sit down.
I'll take my chances.
You're really serious about all this, aren't you?
100%, why not? The rocks I sleep on seem to be getting harder. Rain keeps getting colder.
Well, settling down seems to make a lot of sense. Been doing a lot of thinking about that lately. Hey, what is all this after that talk about the rocks and the rain?
No, not this one. This one. I've never seen one like that before. $300 bounty on a bear? That's kind of unusual.
Well, that old bear's been killing livestock up and down this valley. Say, you know, you're talking about settling down. You might just could use that money. But you know that killing a man is not different than killing a bear. I mean, the bear don't shoot back.
That's the problem. No challenge.
You know, I'd say you're going to find that chair very uncomfortable compared to that saddle. The drink? Are you going to buy me a drink?
Oh.
Yeah, thanks. I hear they found a longhorn out beside the pasture.
Makes 18.
Jared, I thought you were still in court.
Well, they let us out for recess once in a while, so I thought I'd come by to wish you good luck.
Oh, Wheeler, it's my brother Jared and Heath.
Hello there.
You joining the bear hunt? Oh, he gave up bounty hunting.
Hey, Heath, when do I get the dog you promised me?
Jared, I thought you brought it in this morning.
I thought you did. Wasn't in the barn this morning.
Are you fellas by any chance talking about Sir Lancelot?
Sir, what?
Sir Lancelot. The name I gave to one of Queenie's pups.
Heath promised it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Cass. I didn't know. I gave it to a girl I know. Keep her company when I'm not around.
Nick, that girl wouldn't happen to be the one you met in front of the general store the other day, would it?
Or the one you went bear hunting with the other night?
Right on both cases. But be careful what you say. This one's different from the others.
What kind of dog was it?
Just a collie pup. This one's different, huh, Nick?
Wait till you see it. When you do, look, don't touch. It's my personal property.
No doubt you've got reasons to believe the young lady shares that sentiment.
Yes. I have reasons.
Well, now, this is no way to catch a bear, is it? Let's go out and see how those honeycomb traps are doing.
Let's move out. Bear looks like a community project.
It is.
Well, since I aim to become a part of the community, maybe I ought to just ride along after all.
Oh, no, I told you, we're there, yeah. More than welcome.
I have to ride back and get my rifle.
No, there's not time. Cassidy, do me a favor, will you? Lend this man your rifle.
Sure.
There you go.
Thanks, Nick. You know, since bounty's my game, you nail that bear, I'm going to feel like you just took something away from me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't like to have things taken away from me.
Watch the trap there. Don't look to me like you tried for the bait.
Sure been nosing around. Left tracks going in 6 different directions.
The bees fell our trap.
Maybe we should pair off and spread out.
Good idea.
All right if I ride with you, Nick?
So long as you don't decide to use me as a shield again.
You have my word.
All right, let's go.
Come on. All right, Charlie, you and Bill, let's go.
These tracks here look pretty fresh.
You want to move off right? I'll cover from the left flanking position.
Sounds to me like he's on the other side of that ridge. He must have spot. What are you trying to do, Wheeler? Collect the whole bounty on that bear?
No! I'm trying for the bounty on you, Barkley!
You're out of your mind! There's no bounty on me!
Lael Johnson!
Lael?
My wife!
I didn't know.
You knew she was married. She must have told you that.
Well, I realize now she tried to tell me, but I wouldn't let her. Wheeler! killed a bear, Nick. What are you shooting at?
Had a little accident here is all. You go on, we'll catch up with you.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Let's go. Why'd you let me off?
Because I figure Lael deserves a choice. Now, we're gonna go see her. If she tells me to ride out, you're never gonna see me again. If she tells you to ride out, I better not ever see you again, or I'll finish what you started here.
Leftovers. I guess that's all you've ever gotten from me. The time I had left over after I'd gotten through doing the things I had to do.
Or wanted to do.
Or wanted to do. Look, Leo, sometimes a man starts running a race so fast that he pulls a hamstring muscle. And then he knows if he slows up, he'll fall down. I've always been afraid of falling.
Did it ever occur to you that I might be afraid, too? Afraid of loneliness, afraid of a dark night in a strange place. Afraid of the chance that you might never come back.
I've always made it because I've had you to come back to. You were always there when I needed you.
But where were you when I needed you?
From now on, I'll be close enough so you just call my name.
You told me the same thing last night. Where were you today?
That was different.
It's always different. A week, 2 weeks, pick up those guns. How do I know?
Because I'm giving you my word on it. And the one thing I have never done is lie to you. I realize Nick Barkley has things that a woman wants. Roots, an important family, money. But you are my wife, and I want you to stay that way. Because I love you, Leo. It's the same, I won't force it. It's up to you.
Still in love with him, aren't you? Goodbye, Lil.
Goodbye, Nick.
I forgot to tie my horse down hard enough. I tell you, it sure is a hot day for all this walking.
You bet. Well, if I can be of any help.
Yeah, you sure can. You can hand over the mare you got there right now.
Well, I don't see how I can do that without an argument.
Well, I'm going to see that you get your horse back.
Well, that's real nice of you. First time I ever met a horse thief. Called it a loan.
Take a look at that.
U.S. Deputy Marshal.
That's right.
With the turnaround collar.
I'm after a murderer, mister. And I don't aim to let him get me first.
Who's the man you're after?
Ben Rollins.
Rollins? Thought he was in Colorado.
That's what everybody thinks, that he's in Colorado. But I got a different line on him. My horse broke a leg about 3 miles up the road, and I had to kill it.
You ever tell a story straight?
That's a straight story. You got the badge there in your hand to prove it. And I got the papers here in my pocket to show that I got the authority.
Well, now, that might make you a lawman, but that don't give you the right to take what's mine.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pay you for your horse.
I take it you got $500 there in your pocket? Look, I just bought this mare. And ain't nobody, no marshal or anyone, gonna take it or buy it from me. Now, you can borrow it.
Well, I thank you kindly. Very kindly. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see that you get it back. How about that?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna ride along with you till you find another horse.
Now, look, I'm chasing after a man that's wanted for robbery and murder. And I don't look forward to having somebody tag along after me that I gotta look after.
Well, I always heard that 2 guns were better than 1. Being you ain't got a posse.
I don't need one either.
Look, I don't mean to stand in the way of a lawman doing his duty. But I just ain't gonna let him ride off with my horse either.
Well, then that's gonna be a mighty expensive horse if you die in the process, ain't it? It's your choice.
Let's go.
I paid enough for it.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed, ma'am. We won't hurt you.
Are you Mrs. Rollins?
No. No, I'm Amanda. My name is Amanda Carter.
Well, where's your husband?
Well, he's gone. Dead. Dead.
Well, I think you were right the first time. Now, I'm going to ask you once again. Where is Ben Rollins? Huh?
That's enough. Can't you see she's sick?
I'm going to have a look around outside, dear. I hope for your sake I find nothing.
I'm sorry. A boy?
My son, Joey.
He's a mighty good-looking boy. How long you been sick?
Seems like always. It's been bad the last few weeks.
Have to wait, little fella? We got a lady here. Need some help. Come on now. Lie back here. I got an extra blanket on my saddle. When I get back, I'll get that fire going again. Be right back.
Mr.
Barkley. Heath Barkley.
Mr. Barkley, that man's not a preacher.
He's a bounty hunter. Name of Weaver.
Oh, Mr. Barkley? Thank you. Sorry I couldn't even help you wash or change him.
Well, that's no trouble at all, man.
These last few weeks I haven't even been able to feed him proper.
Well, he's making up for it right now.
You're good at that, handling babies.
Well, I lived with a family once for a while that had 12 of them. Man had to kind of learn to diaper in self-defense.
Well, now, Mrs. Rollins, I think that it's time you started talking to us about your husband.
Carter. My name is Carter.
Is that right? Do you know that I went all the way back to a little bitty town there in Missouri that Ben Rollins is supposed to have come from? And I checked the records in that town. And they say that about 7 years ago, Ben Rollins married a girl. Her name was Amanda Carter.
Go to a lot of trouble to find a man, Weaver.
Well, our Mr. Rollins is wanted for robbery in 6 states. And he's wanted for murder in the state of Colorado. That's right, murder. Now, would you like to tell me where he is?
That's not true. Now, my husband wouldn't murder anybody.
He wouldn't? Do you know 3 witnesses saw him shoot down a bank clerk in cold blood?
No. He's a good man. He's a really good man.
He's really a good man, is he? That's why you're laying there sick? Huh? All the time? Because he's really a good man who hasn't been back here in how long? Months. Did you ever think, Mrs. Rollins, that maybe he'll never come back and see you? That's right. Now, he and his gang have performed a couple robberies lately. Must got him a lot of money by now. What do you think they're doing with all of that money? Not sending it to you, are they? There's an awful lot of women out there, Mrs. Rollins. Awful lot of women that sure like to be up next to Mr. Ben Rollins and all of his money.
No!
Yes. And you're laying there dying and your baby, too?
No!
I told you once to leave her alone.
I think I know how to handle this.
That's the trouble, you don't. And you're not going to hound her this way.
You got no stake in this.
You're just a dedicated lawman, huh? You'll do anything and anybody to nail Ben Rollins.
Somebody's got to do the job.
Last I heard, there was a $10,000 reward on Rollins. Is that why you're so dedicated? You're not working for the government, you're working for yourself.
It's legal. I got a badge. I got the papers giving me the authority to do it. Now, you can call it anything else you want to. You know, a man works all of his life wearing a badge, and he don't get nothing for it. He gets a lot of hard work and scrub pay, and that's it. Now, I go out, and I do my job, and I do it very well, and I get paid very well for it, and I do anything that I have to get the job done.
Miss Rollins has got to get to a doctor. I'm taking her out of here in the morning.
If Rollins comes back, he'll come back here.
Well, that's your problem. If I wait any longer, she may die. Miss Rollins?
No, let go of me.
Bring the baby. What are you trying to do to yourself?
He was trying to get to her husband. I done told you she know where he's at.
He's gonna kill Ben. I just can't let him.
Just tell me where he is. I promise you I won't harm him. I'll bring him in alive, but tell me where he is.
Now get out.
That doesn't matter, because Rollins will be coming back for his kid.
Mr. Buckley. Mr. Buckley, he's gonna kill my husband, isn't he? He just won't give Ben a chance.
Well, the posters say dead or alive. If your husband resists.
But he will. He has to. Oh, God. He couldn't stand to be penned in.
Just lie back and get some sleep now. Here.
Mr. Buckley, what's gonna happen to Joey?
You're gonna be all right.
You're a kind man, but you're a rotten hand at lying. What's gonna happen to Joey?
I don't know.
Would you take care of it for me?
Miss Rollins, I can't.
Please. You've got to. I don't know what else to do with her. Please, just promise me.
I promise.
Thank you.
You done?
Yep.
You can leave whenever you want to. I'm gonna take the woman's horse with me.
You know, it's funny. I've seen a lot of reward posters on Rollins. Never seen a picture of him. Sure you know what he looks like?
I even know what he eats for breakfast.
You know, Rollins usually travels with 3 or 4 men. How do you figure on getting him alone?
I could deputize you.
Yeah, you could, but you won't. You don't want to have to cut anybody else in on that reward money. But I think you're going to have to work real hard for it, Weaver.
Well, I'm taking a chance that Rollins is going to come in here after his family by himself. Now, if he comes in here with more men than I can handle, then I'll have to wait and get him another time. You going to take that kid with you?
She asked me to.
What do you think Rollins is going to do when he comes here and finds his kid gone and his wife dead?
Well, a $10,000 reward. You gonna give him a chance to do anything?
Oh, there's nothing like gin when you feel all done in. And when I'm thirsty for a beer, better serve it to me, dear. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm,
Well, now what's the matter? You can't be hungry. You just put away a whole bottle. Uh-huh. Come on. There we go. I sure wish you could talk. It's a brand new pair of three-cornered pants you got on. The pins seem all right. It's not there. Here, Joey. Look here. Look here. Look here. You like that? Huh? I'm sorry, Joey. That's all I know how to do. Well, you're teething. You need something to chew on, don't you, boy? You wait right here. I'll be right back, huh? All right, I'm coming.
Canada. Ain't nothing up there but trees, Ben.
No lawman after my hide either. That'll be nice for a change. Not having to keep looking over my shoulder all the time.
And sooner or later, somebody's gonna be there with that wanted post in his pocket and a hankering for them 10,000 iron men the government's offering for you.
Now, once I'm over that border, they can't touch me. It's been 7 years for me and Amanda. Running, hiding, no peace. It's time she had more than that, her and Joe. I think we can get it up there.
And nobody gets out, Ben. One way or another. Once you're in the state.
No, not me. All right, let's get ready to move out. You want my advice, Ling? You head for Canada, too.
Take that mare there.
Better give him some extra grain, Glenn. They sure earned it.
supposed to be here Friday. We were getting worried.
I'm sorry. A couple of things held me up.
Did you get the mare?
She's outside.
Heath. Oh, what's in the basket?
Well, now that's a fine welcome after being gone for 2 weeks.
Well, of course, I'm glad you're home, but what's in the basket?
Well, you see, Mother.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Mother, she's beautiful.
His name's Joey.
What is this?
Well, he was crying. Teething, you know. I cut that off my saddle cinch.
Oh. Well, I don't suppose a little more dirt will hurt you. Heath, I know you didn't find this baby on a doorstep. Where did you get him?
Is Jared here? I'd like to ask him about some legalities.
He's in San Francisco.
Heath, where did you get this child?
He's Ben Rollins' son.
Home. Mandy?
Ben, you better come on out here.
It was only 4 days ago.
Amanda's name, not Joey's. Whoever buried her must have taken him.
Hey, where you going?
To get Joey.
Ben, if anybody can track whoever took him, you can, but... Well, maybe it'd be best if you just forgot it right here.
Forget it. I don't know how Amanda died. I don't know where my son is or who has him. Just like that, forget it.
Ben, look at the name on the marker. Amanda Rollins. Now, they know who she was, Ben. You take off after Joey, you're gonna walk head on right into a trap.
You coming with me, Lane?
No, Ben.
You? You ever get up to Canada, you look Joey and me up.
Mother! Anybody home?
What the devil is that? What is this doing here?
That child is not this.
Well, what is that child doing here, then?
I brought him. Meet Master Joseph Rollins, Nick.
Ah.
Oh, who?
You can call him Joey.
Joey, huh? What's he want with that spoon there?
Well, he's teething.
Oh, well, how'd it get here?
That's a long story. His mother was dying. She asked me to take care of him.
Oh? Well, has he got a father?
His father's got a price on his head.
Oh, wait a minute. Back up. Rollins. You said Rollins. That kid by any chance belong to Ben Rollins?
That's right.
Wonderful. That man's been wanted for 5 years for murder and robbery. He carries 6 states in his pocket, and they haven't caught up with him yet. And knowing all this, you got the guts to drag that kid out and bring him to this house.
I just couldn't leave him there alone now, could I?
Have you given it any thought as to what Rollins is going to do when he finds out his kid's gone?
Well, he's been gone for quite a while. He may not be back for months.
Oh, that could be. But if he does get back and he trails you here, have you thought about that?
There's a bounty hunter just waiting for him to come back to that cabin. The way I see it, Rollins hasn't got a chance.
Well, now, I wouldn't count on that if I were you. He's been trapped before, you know, and he's still free.
You're both overlooking a most important thing. What happens to the baby?
Well, the sooner we get him to an orphanage, the better.
Joey's not going to an orphanage.
And why not?
Because I happen to know what it's like to be an orphan. Not belong anywhere. I want Joey to belong. I want him to have a family with kids to grow up with. Till I find one, he's staying right here.
Heath is absolutely right. There will be no more talk about an orphanage. Heath is also right that Joey should be raised with children and other young children. Let's see, the Whitakers now. They've been talking about adopting another baby, and the Stanleys, they have some young children that I'll make some visits tomorrow.
I'll drive you, Mother.
Well, I'll go up and clean up Audra's old room. Make it ready for him. About time someone cleaned that room up anyway.
Don't worry, Heath. Joey's going to be all right.
Afternoon, neighbor.
Reverend?
Now, you can just stop right there, Mr. Rollins.
You carrying a badge, Reverend? Or are you working for yourself?
A little bit of both, thank you. Now, just hold it right there. Now, the government doesn't much care how I bring you in, whether it's setting up in that saddle or laying across it dead.
And you?
Whatever's easiest for me. And that, I guess, would be with you dead, wouldn't it? Seems to be your choice.
Whatever's fair.
I wasn't expecting company.
Oh, we're not exactly company today. Tell me, do you and your husband still want to adopt a baby?
Well, we were thinking about it. Why? Is this one up for adoption?
Oh, not yet. You see, his mother is dead, and we can't find his father.
He is beautiful. A boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why can't his father be located?
His father's Ben Rollins.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, but it is our busy time, Mrs. Barkley. Putting in crops and all. And my little girl hasn't been feeling very good. I haven't any time for a baby.
But you said you wanted to adopt a baby, and
Yes. Sometime.
Not now? Or not this baby?
It doesn't make any difference, does it? I'm sorry. The answer is no, Mrs. Barkley.
You done?
Yes. You'll be fit to travel in about 2 weeks.
I'm moving now.
You're not a minister?
No, Doctor. As a matter of fact, I'm not.
I didn't think so. Preachers don't usually come in here all shut up.
Well, I'll save you the trouble of asking. I'm not a preacher. I'm legally deputized to go after Ben Rollins. I finally caught up to him, and he shot me.
I don't suppose you'll listen, but I'm required to tell you this anyway. That wound won't kill you if you rest. But if you insist on riding, you'll break the stitches and start bleeding again. And if you lose much more blood, Mr. Weaver, I can't be responsible for you.
I'm not asking you to be responsible for me.
Local sheriff could help you round up a posse.
I don't need a posse.
For heaven's sake, man, why not?
Why not? There's a $10,000 reward out for Ben Rollins. That's why not.
And you can't see splitting it.
I've been chasing after that man for over a year, and I don't know how many miles. I finally caught up to him, and he shot me. No, sir, I can't see splitting it. Now, how much do I owe you?
$2 is enough. And change that bandage every few hours.
If I get the time, Doctor, I will.
Well, Miss Barkley, you know how it is. Well, we got 4 of our own, and we sure would like to take the little fella in, but,
Why, what's wrong with him? He's healthy. He's cute as a button. Well, you got room.
Oh, we could feed him and all, Heath, but, well, he wouldn't be one of ours.
Well, he would be if you took him in now. Well, he's so young he doesn't even know who he is yet.
well, now somebody would surely find out.
We couldn't keep it a secret, and they'd want to know, and... Miss Barkley?
I understand.
Well, I don't.
Thank you, Chester.
Not all, Miss Barkley. Come on.
How'd it go? It didn't. 4 families turned him down flat.
Why?
For the same reasons you talked about yesterday. Trouble. The poor little fellow doesn't even know it yet.
Why is he so pink?
We've been riding around in the sun all day.
Shouldn't you do something about it?
You got any suggestions?
No, it's just that, well, I thought that maybe somebody should do something about it.
Well, don't worry, Nick. We'll take care of him. Come on, Mother.
Well, what happens, Heath, if you can't find anyone to take him in?
Maybe we'll just keep him, huh?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hey, fella. Hey, just keep it down, will you? Huh?
Will you keep it down? Just trying to get some sleep in there. Well, that's it. Just take it easy, man. What do you want to do? You want to maybe get up? Want to get up and sit for a while? Huh? Yeah. Yes. There. Oh, wait a minute now. You're going backwards here. There you go. There. Hey? Wasn't so bad, was it? Huh? Was it worth all that crying, huh? There we go. There. There we are. Huh. See that? It's all better now, isn't it? Hey. Hey. Say, Uncle Nick. Can you say Uncle Nick? Say. Huh? Oh, well. We'll work on it tomorrow, all right? Huh?
You'd make a great father, Nick.
Oh, well, I heard him crying here, and, well, I thought there was something I could do, and, well, he seems like being held, so, you know.
You're doing it very well.
You know what? He smiled at me.
Babies do that.
Oh, no, he smiled right at me.
I think he likes his Uncle Nick.
Yeah, I believe he does. Huh? Well, that's about it, I guess.
You sure we got enough baby food, Nick?
You kidding? There's enough here to last him till he's 12 years old.
Baby food, eh? Don't tell me you haven't got rid of that Rollins kid yet.
What's your interest, Jameson?
Oh, word's out. I heard you were all over the whole valley trying to palm that kid off on folks.
I didn't ask what you'd heard. I asked what's your interest.
Well, everybody knows about him. Now, we don't want him here.
Well, now, ain't you the interested citizen, Jameson? If you knew anything about that kid, you'd know he's only 9 months old. Now, what do you expect from him? To go to the nearest bank and stick it up with his rattle?
Nah, trouble breeds trouble. You know a boy follows after his father.
Joey doesn't even know his father.
It's in the blood.
If that's true, then you should be a blacksmith like your father.
We let him live here, he'll wind up robbing this town blind someday.
Well, now, what do you suggest we do? Shoot him like a dog because he might have rabies?
That might not be a bad idea with a little mongrel.
Nick.
What?
Well, I was going to do that.
Well, we just chalked that one up for little Joey, then.
All right, for that, I'll buy you a beer.
You're on.
Help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for work.
Oh, we got a full crew on.
I do most anything, mister. Smithing, handyman. I really do need the job.
Well, I guess we could use somebody around the house fixing things. All right, for a few days. Put your stuff in the bunkhouse there and check with my brother Nick. He'll get you started.
Much obliged, Mr.
Barkley. Heath Barkley.
Tom Bennett.
Here. Just no pleasing you, Joey.
Yeah. Oh, you're such a good boy, Joey. You are such a good boy.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, Mr. Bennett, come in.
I finished up the windows on the outside. I can start in here if you like.
Good. You keep working like this, you'll run out of chores to do.
It's nice to have some chores to do.
These windows here. Now, the lace curtains, of course. Mr. Bennett?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I have a baby in the house, I see.
For a while. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can start over there if you prefer.
Yes, ma'am. sure is a good-looking boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose I could pick him up, could I? I know how. I had a son once.
Of course.
Thank you. Hi there. Hello. What's his name?
Joey.
Hello, Joey. Is he a good boy?
Oh, he cries a little. He's teething, but he isn't any trouble.
Oh, Bennett, when you're through here, Richardson would like some help in the barn.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Joey. Oh, baby.
I'll do these windows over here.
I get it. What do you want here, Weaver?
Weaver?
Bounty hunting marshal.
Are you Mrs. Barkley, ma'am?
Yes.
Well, then I guess I'd better speak with you. I have papers here that give me all the authority I need to use your house here as a headquarters.
You mean as a trap?
Or you can call it anything you want.
I am, and we don't want any part of your setup.
Look, this gives me all the authority I need. Now, if you want to stand in my way, then...
No one is standing in your way. You're free to go whenever you like.
Mrs. Barkley, Rollins is going to be coming here after his kid. Now, I had him out on the trail and he got away from me. And he's going to be coming here sooner or later.
Look, Weaver, you're wearing a badge. That makes you the law. But you're not using us to carry out your kind of law.
That means you're obstructing justice, you know that.
All I can see is you're trespassing on Barkley property.
What does it matter as long as it gets the job done?
Get the job done someplace else and as quickly as possible.
Now get going, Weaver.
That's Joey. Mr. Bennett.
I don't mean to hurt you, ma'am. I just want my son.
I stand corrected. Mr. Rollins.
Who brought Joey here?
I did.
What happened to my wife?
I found your wife very sick, Mr. Rollins. Before she died, she asked me to take care of Joey.
Heath did all he could for her.
I suppose I should thank you.
We aren't condoning what you did. But Joey shouldn't have to suffer for it, as your wife did.
He won't.
There was a bounty hunter just here, looking for you.
I saw him.
Easy. Rollins, taking that baby's just going to slow you up.
Mr. Rollins, think of Joey. What can you offer him? What kind of a life can you give him?
What do you offer him, Mrs. Barkley?
Well, we hope to find him a good home with children. Young children. If that's not possible, we'll keep him.
I want him.
All right, suppose you get away. How is Joey going to grow up?
Just like any other boy. He's my son. You don't even have one. You don't know.
I do. I have 3 sons and a daughter.
Then you know why I'm doing this. Because I care for the boy. Mrs. Barkley, would you wrap him up in a blanket, please?
If you really love Joey, you'll leave him here. Give him a chance to grow up and live decent. Let him be worth something, Rollins.
Sorry, Barkley. I thank you for the thought. But he's too important to me. I'll step over into the middle of the room. Mrs. Barkley, I'll take Joey now. It's all right, Joey. Far enough.
All right, what are you going to do now? Looks like Weaver's got you nailed. You try to get out of here, Joey's liable to be killed also. Remember, Dead or alive, you pay off. Dead is easier.
It's funny. He said the same thing to me a little while ago. Miss Barkley, you take Joey upstairs, please.
Always heard you were a crack shot. You missed me clean.
I put my bullet just where I wanted it to go. Barkley, you made a promise to my wife that you'd look after Joey. I want you to see that he ends up in a good home and gets all the right things.
I will.
And the reward? You collect it and use it for Joey. It's the only thing I'll ever be able to give him.
I'll see to it.
It's not enough. Father shouldn't leave his boy alone.
Rollins is dead. Isn't that what you wanted?
And what about the reward? I chased after the man for a whole year. I even got shot up. I figure I should get something.
Mr. Weaver, I don't doubt that sooner or later you're going to get exactly what you deserve.
Guess Rollins wasn't as bad as people figured.
Certainly not about Joey.
He actually forced you to shoot him, to kill him?
Weaver was quite upset about the reward money going to Joey.
But even he admitted it was legal.
I'll get it.
Hello. Evening, Nick. Miss Barkley at home?
Yeah. Oh, come on in.
Lydia, Jim, how nice to see you.
We came by to see about the boy.
What about him?
Well, we talked things over, me and the missus, and we decided, that we wanted the boy. At least, with our four, he'd have some children to play with.
Well, I think that can be arranged.
You know you have some reward money coming.
I don't understand, Nick.
Well, Joey's father's dead, and, the reward money goes for the care of the baby.
Well, now,